Barbie! I told you to wait in the dream house.
Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Yoi, the trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello, and welcome to episode 48 of the Real Serious Podcast. And it's old school episode today because it is just Charles and myself. No Jack today. He actually has a great excuse. He is going to see Interstellar re-released in IMAX. So we gave him a break on this one, but we are doing a draft tonight. So I got his answers for it. So we're all good there. Don't worry. No need to worry, people. I got it. But Charles, how are we?
You know, my roommate Tommy, you know Tommy, the listeners might not. So my roommate Tommy.
I know Tommy.
He asked,
should know Tommy.
He asked me, he's like, you want to go to see Interstellar tonight? And I said, I got to record the pod. But if I had gone, then you could have rocked like a solo mission.
Oh, let me tell you, it would have got weird.
Yeah.
It would have got weird.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. We went some dark rabbit holes if I was by myself.
Probably. Wouldn't expect anything less. But I'm good. Yeah. Weekend's coming to a close, which is a bummer, but you know.
We work all week just for the weekend. That's all it is.
Unfortunately. Yeah. It's an unfortunate truth.
Yeah.
But I do have my Plex server up and running.
Yeah. All right. I saw that. I saw you were uploading today. You got some stuff already added.
I've got some bangers added. I kind of like, I started with some here. I can pull it up right now actually, because now I've got a monitor. I've been making money moves out here, but I've got like The Dark Knight, Barbie, Devil Wears Prada. Fight Club was the first one I downloaded.
You got Interstellar, so you didn't even have to go. You got Interstellar already on here.
Interstellar, yeah. We have Interstellar at home. But yeah,
you're almost at mine. So right now you're at 16 compared to my 475, but you're there. You're getting there.
I'm just behind you.
Yeah.
I also
Did you have any big pickups this week at the flea market?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Hunter.
I
sure did.
Nice.
We'll start with this one. Mm-hmm. Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I love The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
It was in packaging.
Big fan.
Mm-hmm. I got Dallas Buyers Club.
Very nice. Good movie.
And I'm really sad that Jack's not here because I saw this at Goodwill and I got so fired up to talk about it on the pod.
You could save it for next week. Oh, The Family Man. Nice.
Family Man. Yeah.
Nice.
Candidly, if I had gone to Goodwill and seen it a week before, I would have never heard of it. So I'm very glad. Yeah. Very glad about that. So I'll continue uploading to the Plex. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll do my little haul from this week. Didn't get a whole lot. Just season 2 of Loki on Steelbook because we're getting away from Disney Plus. Look at that. Look at the back of that. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's good looking.
And then season 1 of Hawkeye, which I think I actually might rewatch because it is Christmas time. Also on
featuring Josh Allen.
Mrs. Josh Allen. Yes. Yeah. Mrs. Josh Allen is the big star of that show. Haley Allen. I think she won't change her name unless she hyphenates.
No chance she changed her
name. Me
name.
Personally, for Josh Allen, I would change my name. My king. Josh Allen. The greatest quarterback in the NFL right now.
That's what I think. I was asking Kipley about that. For listeners, Kipley is another one of my roommates.
This guy lives with everybody.
Yeah, I was asking Kip, like, do you think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league right now? And he thought it was Lamar.
Yes. I think it's Josh Allen.
I don't think Lamar is a smart enough quarterback to be the best.
Yeah.
You know? Athletically, sure, but I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I'm team Josh Allen all the way. But yeah, let's see. What did you watch this week, man? What'd you watch?
You're gonna be.
I can go first if you want. You're not pulled up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let it rip.
So starting with White Christmas, which I watched. I'll save my thoughts on that for a little later, just because we're going to cover it. Then I watched Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. Gave that 4 stars. Very funny movie. Very, very funny movie. I kind of forgot how funny it was.
Austin Powers is great.
Highly recommend. It's so good. Then I watched The Family Man, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I watched The Muppet Christmas Carol, which I'm very excited to talk about again. And I finished out with a Christmas movie I've never seen, The Holiday. And I actually really enjoyed The Holiday. I give that 3.5 stars. Quite funny. I'm a big sucker for Hollywood movies about Hollywood, and that's one of them. Also, I watched Creature Commandos, but I think we'll talk about that later. Did you end up watching Creature Commandos?
No, I did not.
Later, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I got.
I only watched 2 movies.
No.
I'm so sorry, Hunter. I tried. I really did try.
It better have been. Did you find the Muppets?
No.
No.
But I will.
This guy.
I promise you, I will watch it before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem, okay,
this guy.
Listeners, here's the problem. I'm trying to like redo all my streams or streaming services to be on one credit card. One for just so I like know where it all is, and 2, it's better cashback. So they were all like separate services, and I'm going to bundle them together. And so I canceled Disney Plus, and then I was going to bundle them all today. But for some reason, Hulu is being kind of weird. It's like you can't add Hulu to the service. So then I had to cancel my Disney account, and it takes up to 14 days for that to like pull through. And so within those 14 days, I'll be able to like get the bundle, and then I'll be able to watch it.
Basically, you just are making cable again. We're just back to having cable at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of insane.
Although cable was a lot more expensive. I think it was like $100 a month or something.
Yeah, but then on top of that, like if you want to watch NFL games, like you need to have cable of some kind. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever. Anyway, what I watched, White Christmas and The Family Man, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about The Family Man. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. All right. Here's one that I was thinking about before we kind of jump into everything. The Hoosiers. We always talk about the Hoosiers. We have to talk about the Hoosiers. Yeah. I feel great about our spot in the college football playoff. I feel great about it. Like, I feel very, very good about it. Do you feel the same?
Opinion?
Like on what?
Just like I don't have an opinion on like where we are in the playoffs, because you just said I feel good.
I feel good about playing Notre Dame. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I just think that if of the first round matchups, I think we're in a better spot than other teams. Like
okay, Notre Dame's
and I also think if any team is going to look over the Hoosiers, it's Georgia.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I just feel like if we win in South Bend and we play Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, I feel like we're in a perfect like Georgia looking ahead spot where Georgia's looking ahead to play the next game and they don't think about the Hoosiers.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my thought. That's my thought on that.
Judging by Twitter, Notre Dame is very confident.
Which I think is good for us. I think it's very good for us.
I also think we're going to pack that stadium. I think
want it to go. It's the most expensive game by far to go to.
I think the Hoosiers are going to take over that stadium. It's in Indiana.
I hope so.
We haven't gone to the playoffs in forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Hoosiers are going to get out there.
I really hope so.
I will not be one of those Hoosiers.
I tried Hoosier fans.
Watching from my home, but I think we'll travel well.
I hope so. That's our football talk. That's it. That's all we got. Football talk. Just because we really got nothing else for a couple weeks. All right. You ready to get into some news? I had a skit this week. I'm going to save it for next week. I want Jack to be on the pod for it.
Okay.
So I'll save it. I'm actually very excited for next week. All right. We had 2 very interesting films to talk about next week with Lord of the Rings and Kraven the Hunter, which I'm actually more excited.
Oh, Lord of the Rings is this week?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got my ticket already, man. I'm ready. I'm pumped.
I'll get my ticket after this episode.
Are you going to get the hammer?
Am I going to get the hammer? I just went on a run like an hour and a half ago. So I kind of felt, you know how after you go for a run, your lungs feel kind of like compressed?
Mhm.
I felt that when I was fake laughing, which is why I coughed. But I will get the hammer. Yeah. I like the cup too. I might get the cup.
the cauldron cup thing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Are you gonna get the hammer?
I don't know. I'm really debating on that.
Okay.
Just because I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings guy.
I think it's really sad when other movie theaters post about popcorn buckets for a movie, and it's like such a lame bucket compared to like the special one. Like I think it was.
Dude, I don't know.
Cinemark.
I think Regal has the best. I think Regal might have the best.
I think Regal consistently has the best. Yeah. Aside from AMC's Dune bucket, but
yes, agreed.
I like Cinemark posted just like a regular Lord of the Rings popcorn bucket, and I was like, oh, that thing will not fly off the shelf. That thing will gather dust. Yeah.
Also, there's a new game out called Marvel Rivals that I'd like to play, but I haven't had time to play it. So.
Oh, I think I saw a clip.
Well, it's like Marvel Overwatch, but I haven't had time to play it.
Yeah.
I'd like to find a time this week to play it. So if you want to, hey, maybe this week play some.
I would like
Marvel
to play
Rivals.
Fortnite.
I would also like to play Fortnite, which maybe we can try that this week too.
Okay.
So just let me know. Hey, I'll be around. Maybe Thursday night. Thursday night feels like a good Fortnite night.
That sounds like a good Lord of the Rings night.
That too.
Yeah.
Actually, my tickets are Friday. So, but yeah, you just let me know. Hey, keep me posted. Keep me posted. All right. Maybe say, hey, Saturday night. I'll see you there.
All right. Cool.
All right. First piece of news actually ties into what we were just talking about. Mission Impossible 8. Tom Cruise has had direct help in creating the popcorn bucket for Mission Impossible 8. This mission he chose to accept, and he will be making the popcorn bucket. And I'm actually pretty pumped for this. I think it'd be very weird and wacky, and I kind of hope it's somehow like it's him doing something. I think it'd be great. I'm actually.
It literally could be Tom Cruise's head, like a mask.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
It depends how. Yeah.
Can I tell you my dream for the popcorn bucket? Okay, remember the first Mission Impossible where he does the hangover to get on the computer?
Drops
the bucket
the knife.
The bucket is that room, and the lid of the bucket has him dangling. So when you close the bucket, it's like him dangling over the computer. But when you take the lid off, you just have a bucket.
Man, they should have hired you for this.
Wish list. I know. Tom Cruise, listener of the pod, give me a ring. I'm happy to help. But yeah, that would just be, oh man, that'd be so awesome. All right, that was it for that first piece of news. Next piece of news: Mandalorian and Grogu has finished filming. I kind of forgot this was a movie. Let's go! I kind of forgot this was happening. I'll be honest. It comes out in 2026, and it's wrapped filming. Releases May 2026. My excitement for Star Wars is just real down the drain.
Sounds like Pedro Pascal is having a career 3 years. Gladiator 2, Fantastic Four, and Mandalorian and Grogu. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah. Which he probably didn't even film for this at all because he's probably just a voiceover.
I've got a news piece that ties back. It's so unrelated. It kind of ties back.
It is so unrelated.
Football. It ties back to football. Timothy Chalamet knowing ball.
Oh, insane.
Where did that come from?
Good for him. I have no idea, but good for him.
Timothy,
the one about the Ohio quarterback was just insane. He was the only one who picked it, and he talked about how that quarterback needs to go off today for them to win, and then that dude had like a touchdown in like the first 12 minutes of the game.
Dude, they won by like 30.
Yeah, it wasn't even.
And they
close.
were like heavy under. They were heavy dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Timmy's the man. I'm a big Timmy fan.
Timmy, special guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
It is kind of crazy. He's just like a chill guy. And he's like also the biggest star in the world right now. He is.
Yeah,
I loved all the Dune meme. The Dune memes were very funny.
He used to like have a YouTube where he refurbished video game controllers.
Xbox 360 controllers. Yeah. He would like mod them. Yeah.
And then I think someone heard his voice, and they're like, "Is
and
this
they like
you?"
figured it out.
Yeah,
That's so awesome. Good for him.
that's
Dudes rock.
that's sweet.
That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say. Dudes rock. More Star. Actually, are you watching Skeleton Crew? Is anyone watching Skeleton Crew? No,
I'm
neither
sure
not.
someone
Apparently, it's
is.
great. Apparently, it is like it's like Andor. Apparently, it's Andor, Skeleton Crew, and then like Mando. Like it's actually better than Mandalorian, which I don't know. Maybe when it's all said and done, I'll jump into it during that like weird everyone's off work week at Christmas. But it's
Yeah.
my Star Wars is just so low, which is why this next piece of news is great. Ahsoka season 2 is going to start filming in April 2025. It is not going to all be filmed on the volume. They're actually going to do some on-set stuff, so I guess that's an improvement. But yeah, Ahsoka season 2.
Needle
I'm more excited for
is
this.
is stagnant.
I'm kind of more excited for this than I am for Mandalorian and Grogu, if I'm being honest.
I'm not really thrilled. I would say
I
I'm more
liked
excited
Ahsoka
for
season 1.
Mandalorian. I'm more excited for Mandalorian just because it's a movie experience. But
Yeah,
Ahsoka,
I am excited
I'm
for like
not-
that on the screen.
Yeah, I'm not really excited for Ahsoka. Well, actually, it might not be that thing on the screen because if it's not part of like the
Oh,
direct-
true. Solo didn't have that, right?
Rogue One, it also did not.
All right, maybe it won't.
But I just don't. I'm not really thrilled about a weekly episode and spending an hour watching weekly episodes.
Yeah, except for Creature Commandos, which we'll talk about later. I'm actually pretty excited for that. All right, this one, the next two pieces of news are very much up the Charles Street. I got to get you back on board. I got to get you more excited for movies. Jack Sparrow. Back.
Oh.
There's a new report that Pirates of the Caribbean 6 is reportedly writing right now. They're writing it, and Jack Sparrow is the lead. They're trying to repair that relationship with Johnny Depp to have him return as Jack Sparrow.
Here's my quarrel with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Pirates has been very good since the third one.
I would agree.
I think the fourth one was meh, and the fifth one, I would say, was better than the fourth one. Also meh.
I kind of forgot there were that many.
So I'm not. I mean, I'll go see it, and I'll probably have a good time. But I think Pirates 1 through 3 they're so much better, and I can't really see them bringing it back to that level. You know.
I'll tell you the truth here. Here's my thought. I will be excited if Gore Verbinski returns, because he's the guy who directed the first three. I think that would be more exciting than even Jack Sparrow returning, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The first three, Davy Jones is such a cracked villain. Like he's so
because
cool.
didn't at the end of 5, Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann like showed up again?
Yeah. Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. They show up at the end and they like embrace and stuff. And oh shoot, the younger Turner. It's not Will Turner. I don't know. The younger Henry Turner. Yeah, Henry's with like the female from the 5th movie, and then it's like the two couples. That's the ending.
Interesting.
It was honestly a pretty good ending to like a whole series.
I don't know. I just kind of miss Pirates of the Caribbean. I thought whatever happened to the they're doing like the Margot Robbie one. Whatever happened to that?
I don't know. I remember we talked about that a few months ago.
Yeah, I guess maybe that is dead.
They also ended the 5th one. This is a spoiler, listeners, but it's also been out since like 2018. Captain Barbossa died after after dying like every movie, which I also thought was a good move. So I feel like they tied it off pretty well, which also makes me a little less excited for a 6th one. But
yeah, okay. I guess the Pirates of the Caribbean with Margot Robbie is dead. Sorry, folks.
Brutal.
Yeah, I guess they're shifting back focus to Captain Jack Sparrow.
Hmm.
All right. Well, that was Pirates of the Caribbean news. I thought would pump you up a little bit. Maybe this will pump you up a little more. They're working on a new Lord of the Rings trilogy outside of that Gollum movie they're going to make for 2026. Does that move the needle at all?
It makes me a little concerned. What are they going to do?
I
would like.
It just says Peter Jackson is working on a new trilogy.
See, okay, if it's
Don't
Peter
know how
Jackson,
to help you else besides that.
If it's Peter Jackson, I like that. I would like it if they did something kind of like Rings of Power, like something from before all of the main events happened. I think that'd be interesting. But if they do another Hobbit thing where it's like the Silmarillion, I don't know how you pronounce it, like the Silmarillion. It's a book that predates the original trilogy, and it's like super complex, super in depth. If they made a trilogy about that, I'd be a little concerned, just because it might be like another Hobbit situation where they force one book into 3 movies. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But hey, I'll always take more Lord of the Rings.
You know, I actually wouldn't mind. Yeah, I actually would like, and maybe this is something that is really, really boring in like the grand scheme. I would love a story about the elves after man decided not to get rid of the ring, and like them retreating from kind of the world. I would be interested in that story of like how they did that, how they went about that, and like their retreat and eventual decision to then leave the world of man and go off, you know, to the, what are the islands or something?
I forget what it's called.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that would not be that, and like that'd be pretty interesting.
It'd be very different.
Agreed.
I don't know. I'll take any Lord of the Rings.
Hey, we're just here to provide the information. All right, we're not making these decisions.
That's very true.
We're just the schmucks who got to just eat it up. All right, the corporations put out the slop, and we're there to just spoon feed it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of slop, Harry Potter is going to start filming in summer 2025. It's going to be the same studios that had the last 8 Harry Potter movies filmed there. So far, they have they have auditioned 32,000 children to be the roles of Harry, Hermione, and Ron, to be the potential stars of this new show, which every single season will be based on a book, and it's going to be huge. I could not even imagine how long that would take to go through all of those tapes to figure it out. There's a lot of rumors right now, but the casting and stuff, we're not going to touch any of that until anything's finalized. But I don't know. This for me,
even though there were 32,000 children that acted.
Yeah, and they only really are looking people who live in the UK and Ireland right now.
My God.
So like it's just those children. I don't know. For me, like I think if season 1 is even below, like if season 1 is not an 8 or higher, this is a big trouble. Like this is in big trouble for me, because you got this committed for what, 8 years of someone's life to film this.
You know what I think this will be? I think this will be extremely similar to the Percy Jackson show.
See, I think it's got to be way bigger and way better.
I think it's going to be very similar to Percy Jackson.
Maybe.
That's just my 2 cents. I feel like they put a lot of press out for Percy Jackson, and when it was out, people talked about it a lot, and then silence. Like I haven't heard a whisper about Percy Jackson since, and I think that's what this is going to be.
We'll have to wait and see. I think it comes out 2027. They're shooting for 2027.
Okay.
So year 4 of the podcast, we'll be talking about it.
Sweet.
Can't wait.
We'll refer back to episode 48 to see if I was correct.
Yeah, we'll be like, hang on, what happened in episode 48? We gotta check that real quick. All right, last piece of news. Anne Hathaway is going to be starring in a new thriller about AI, directed and co-written by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's also, I think, co-starring in this movie. It's like a thriller or about AI being bad, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of hyped about this. I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt quite a bit, and I like Anne Hathaway. So put two people together that I like.
Should they recruit Christian Bale and
Michael Caine?
Who plays
Michael Caine
Bane again? Why am I forgetting his name?
In
Bane?
like the Batman movies?
Yeah. Who plays Venom?
Venom. Yeah, it's Venom. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah. They should recruit Christian Bale and Tom Hardy and just make it like a Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, just do it all again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't know. I feel like she's in like hit or miss movies where it's like she'll have like 2 good ones in a row and then 2 really bad ones in a row.
She's in a lot of movies.
Iconic movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
Interstellar. Speaking of Interstellar.
She's in Interstellar, Devil Wears Prada,
Les Miserables, Princess Diaries,
Dark Knight Rises, Princess Diaries,
Ella Enchanted, classic.
Ella Enchanted, Get Smart,
Bride Wars. Whoa, she was the Lady Bird in Rio. Didn't know that. Oh, look at that.
So maybe this will be another iconic movie.
Maybe.
One can
hope.
Possible. Am I right?
Yeah, one can hope. That's it for news. That's all. It was a slow news week. I think people are still getting back after that the holiday. But yeah.
People are digesting.
Let's move on. People are still digesting. That's exactly it. All right, trailers. Do you want to talk? We're gonna save Snow White for third, because I think that'll be the most to talk about. Do you want to talk about Invincible season 3 or The Gorge?
Let's talk about The Gorge.
All right. What did you think of The Gorge?
I honestly thought it was a very interesting idea.
Yeah, I like the concept more than the trailer.
The trailer, I mean, I stayed. Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
Okay, cool. I enjoyed the trailer. It made me want to watch it. It was a little slow, I guess. Like when they were just going back and forth and like pen paling. It was like, okay, I get the point.
They're doing the what?
The Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah, the Taylor Swift thing.
But I think it's a very interesting idea. I love the cast, all 2 of them. So count me in. I don't have Apple TV, which I feel will be a problem, but
you're actually missing out. Apple TV is pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Apple TV has some absolute bangers on it, including a show that's coming out soon. I was gonna put in here, but I decided not to because I know you haven't seen it. So Severance season 2, pumped for that. All of us Severance heads, get ready, get pumped out there for the boys. I did look. So my thoughts on The Gorge is, it looked fine. I think this is very much a streaming movie, but I do like Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, so I will be watching it. It's kind of my whole idea of it. I did see though, which just boggled my mind. This was Miles Teller's first movie since 2022.
Maverick. Yeah,
he hasn't had a movie in the last 3 years.
He's been touring, doing his
for his what is it, Tequila or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but then he has 2 next year. So The Gorge and the Michael Jackson movie, where he is, I think, Michael Jackson's like manager. So I'm actually very excited for that Michael Jackson movie.
Wait a minute. You know what we didn't talk about already?
What?
Our Wrapped.
Our what?
Our Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, true. Should we talk about our Spotify Wraps?
Yeah.
I'll talk about Spotify. Okay, what do you got? What do you got? Let me pull it up right now.
Dude, mine was goofy. The reason I bring it up is, yeah. Stand by. Okay.
Can I pull it up on my computer? No, I don't see it.
Probably. Top artists. Luke Combs, number 1. I'm pretty sure he's been number 1 for the past like 3 years. Sabrina Carpenter, number 2. Number 3, Noah Khan. Number 4, the Newsies Ensemble.
Okay.
And number 5, Timothy Chalamet.
What are you listening to, Timothy? Oh, you listen to Wonka?
His only music is the Wonka soundtrack.
And you're just listening to that a million times? I gotta fast forward to the end.
And my top song was "Seize the Day" by the Newsies Ensemble. I was in the top 0.005%.
That's awesome. Okay, wait. How do I see? Here we go. You played 614 songs this year. That's it? I guess that makes sense. My number one song of the year was Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh.
I was in the 0.05% of listeners globally for Under the Bridge.
Dude, I got you beat on Seize the Day. I was 0.005%.
Oh, hang on. How do I see my top 5? Does that come up soon? I wish we would just give it. I don't want to see all these like
you just keep clicking through it and it'll show you.
I don't want to see all this other stuff. Okay, here we go. My top songs was Under the Bridge, I Ain't Worried, Jump, Holiday Road, and The Less I Know the Better.
Nice.
The bad one I had, though, did I text you this? I had 25 days of podcasts. Like, if you took the minutes, put it in hours, put it in days, it was 25 days. I was in the top 2% of sports podcast listeners in the world.
Jeez.
We were my top 5, though. We were my 5th podcast.
We were, I think, my 3rd. No, 2nd.
Nice.
There's a video I saw of Timmy Chalamet signing people's like whatever, and this guy's like, "Oh my god, like I loved you in Wonka. You're my favorite Willy Wonka." And he's like, "Oh yeah, like what was your favorite song?" Or the guy's like, "I loved the music." And he's like, "Oh yeah, what was your favorite?" And the guy's like, well, you know, I really liked Imagination, like your rendition, and the first song was great." And Timothy Chalamet's like, "Oh yeah, what was the first song called?" And the guy was like, I
would have told it to his face that I didn't like Noodle. I think that Noodle sucks. I would have told him right to his face, I skip Noodle every time.
I would have told him I love Noodle, and the first song in the soundtrack is Hat Full of Dreams, obviously. Hat Full of Dreams is probably the best song in that soundtrack. Or You've Never Had Chocolate Like This. Those are probably the two best.
I do like You've Never Had Chocolate Like This. Actually, you know what sneaky song I really like is the one that the the 3 bad guys sing.
Have You Got a Sweet Tooth?
Yes, I do like Have You Got a Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. I think it's called Sweet Tooth.
I like the vibe of that song. That's a good vibe.
Sweet Tooth. I do.
Yeah, I just like that song a lot.
Since I was a boy.
It's good vibes. Yeah. All right. Invincible season 3, shorter wait than last time. I am beyond excited for Invincible season 3. I know very little about this except for he gets the new suit, which was teased in the trailer. Have you read this part of Invincible?
I've read all of it. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what's coming.
I do.
Should my excitement level be real high or not as high?
I think you should be excited, but you should be prepared. Blue Suit, okay. Mark is.
People say Blue Suit's the best version of Mark.
He goes through some bad stuff.
Yeah, if he isn't depressed like half the season, then it's like, what are we doing here?
He goes through some real wild stuff.
I did love that he was like training and he's like way stronger now.
Yeah, he becomes a beast. Also, his little brother Oliver is like a
mini Omni-Man. Kid Omni-Man.
Yeah, Kid Omni-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Mark. I'd be like, dude, don't make that your name. That name stinks.
No, Mark does say that, but
okay, good.
You'll see. This trailer.
I like the cloning girls back.
Yeah. This trailer was exactly what I expected.
Okay.
I'm excited for it. I like know everything that's gonna happen. Which is
I'm actually pretty excited for his dad to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a great cliffhanger where I missed my wife. That was really good. See, I would love to read the Invincible comics, but my issue is this show follows it so closely that I'll just know, and I don't know if I want to know what's going to happen before I see it on the show.
Yeah, I don't. So
that's where I'm torn. I'm torn. Like the boys. The boys is so different from what the comics is that like I wouldn't mind reading the boys comics. But also, I've heard the boys comics is just like far worse than the show.
Yeah.
So I'm like I'm a little torn on that. I'm a little torn. But yeah, that was Invincible season 3. Last but certainly not least is Snow White. Snow White had its trailer, full length trailer. This does not look good. Hang on, I'm gonna take this back. I think it looks good, except for the dwarves, who are very uncanny valley scary. I just don't think it.
Hot
It
take.
just doesn't look great.
Hot take.
Like as a movie. Yeah.
I love the way the dwarves look.
No, you do not.
I think they look hysterical.
They're like spooky.
They're like little gremlins.
Yeah, but in the animated movie, they're like little old, like nice looking dudes, and then in this one, they're like terrifying.
I kind of like the way they look.
Okay, I'll let you have that. That's a crazy take.
I think Gal Gadot.
I love the costuming here. I mean, the costuming here is incredible.
I just wish she would be a better actress.
Yeah.
I just wish she would do better.
I agree.
What is the villain's name? Like, what is her name in this?
I always thought she was just the evil queen.
Is that okay? Evil Queen, whatever it is.
Yeah.
When you have a title like the Evil
Queen. She's credited as the evil queen.
When you have a title, the Evil Queen, there should be some like not charm, but some like wit, and like
yeah, I wanted to be smarter.
Yeah. It's just I'm not feeling it from the trailer.
I also think it's very funny. Like the whole concept of Snow White is that the evil queen isn't the fairest of them all. And then she wants to kill Snow White because she's like, I'm not the hottest person here. It's Gal Gadot. Like, what are we doing here, folks?
Gal Gadot is very pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. Also there's a great part in the trailer where Snow White like talks to her, and because of the headpiece, she can't move her neck. And so she just does. Like her whole body just shifts.
She is Batman.
It's like 89 Batman, where she just has to turn like everything to go look and see anything. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I think it's going to make so much money. But like, really? I think it's going to make a ton of money. I think it's going to make all of the money.
I hate to say it, my favorite part is the dwarves.
When we do our hot takes of 2025 draft up here in a couple weeks, I think probably like the first week of the year, or maybe the last week of the year. One of mine I'm thinking right now is that Snow White makes $1 billion. I just am convinced.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, because let me think. The Disney remakes, right? Aladdin, The Lion King, Cruella, Beauty and the Beast, The Jungle Book, Dumbo. So of those remakes, The Lion King made $1 billion. The Jungle Book, I'm pretty sure, made $1 billion. Beauty and the Beast definitely did.
Beauty and the Beast was also a good movie, though.
Okay, here we go. I pulled it up. So, this only has the U.S. gross in it. All right, The Lion King made $1.6 billion. Beauty and the Beast made 1.2. Jungle Book made 966, and Aladdin, which I think is the best of these, made $1 billion. Alice in Wonderland made $1 billion. Maleficent made 750. Cinderella only made 500. Cruella, which I think is the second best of these, made 230. I don't know. I think it's going to be easy in the 8 to $1 billion range.
All right.
We'll see, though.
Fair enough.
We'll see. All right, that's it for trailers. Creature Commandos, the first foray? Is that how you say it? Foray?
I don't know.
Foyer. Nope, that's like the beginning of a house.
No, that's the foyer.
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 The first step into the new DC universe is Creature Commandos. The R-rated animated show, which is basically the Suicide Squad again. Quite literally, it has Weasel on it. It's got Rick Flag Sr. It's got Amanda Waller. I think the show is pretty great. I really like it. I like the weird. I like the mythical. I like all that stuff. It's a little confusing because it doesn't help me understand that this world is different from what came before in DC. I'll give you an example. In the first few minutes of Creature Commandos, you find out that Rick Flag Sr. is mourning the loss of his son, Rick Flag, during the events of Suicide Squad from 2021. So you're like, okay, so that's canon in the DC universe. You also find out Weasel also was the sole survivor of that. So it's like, all right, is that from canon? Amanda Waller's here, so is everything from the first Suicide Squad canon? It's all a little confusing and a little more confusing than I think it needs to be, but as a product in and of itself, Creature Commandos is pretty solid. I actually am enjoying it quite a bit, and I do recommend it. The animation is really good.
Sweet.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of ignoring any continuity stuff until we get to Superman. Superman is going to be the beginning of I think continuity matters. Also, Rick Flag Sr., played by Frank Grillo, who's animated here, is in live action Superman. So it's like, okay, what do we do? I don't know, but I'm just going to let it happen. And I'm just going to be pumped for it either way, because I'm just glad DC is kind of on a good track right now, which Creature Commandos, good start. That's all I really got.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. You want to get into some reviews?
Sure.
All right. Let's start with Jack's pick, The Family Man. Released in the year 2000. Jack's lavish, fast-paced lifestyle changes one Christmas night when he stumbles into a grocery store holdup and disarms the gunman. The next morning, he wakes up in bed, lying next to Kate, his college sweetheart he left in order to pursue his career, and the horrifying discovery that his former life no longer exists. As he stumbles through an alternate suburban universe, Jack finds himself at a crossroad where he must choose between his higher power career and the woman he loves. This is basically It's a Wonderful Life.
Yep, it is.
But with Nick Cage.
Yep.
My
first
what'd
thought.
You think of It's a Wonderful? Well, not It's a Wonderful Life. What'd you think of The Family Man, which is basically A Wonderful Life?
Okay, so I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Like, I thought it was a fun movie. There were times where it really bummed me out, thinking about adulting and having a family.
Yeah,
because they kind of highlighted a lot of the bad, which is unusual for a movie.
Yeah, both sides kind of had the bad of it all, except for it kind of made it seem like his rich life was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Which I was like, all right.
Yeah. So that was unusual. I was between a 3 and a 3.5. I'm like kind of leaning 3 now. I might revise my review.
Okay.
I thought, I don't even know. I think my biggest harp with it was just adulting and how they really highlighted a lot of the bad and like really emphasized how miserable it was.
Yeah, I didn't love that aspect of the movie.
Like having an affair, like very casually, and like yelling at your wife and dealing with like changing diapers. It's like, this is a quote unquote Christmas movie. This is an interesting thing to show. I also think the character development was bizarre because, like you said, they made it seem like the rich life was better.
Yes, I agree.
And then, like,
with myself,
he would say, like, he would basically make it seem like he was miserable, and then he would like kiss his wife, quote unquote wife, and be like, "You are so beautiful." And then the next day he wants to have an affair, and it's like, which way are we going? And then like at the end, he wants to get coffee with her, and it's like, how did you decide that?
Yeah,
it was very back and forth for me.
I agree. I gave this 3 stars, which honestly might be a little generous. I was kind of between 2.5 and 3. I think that this made, like, I agree with you. It made the married life seem awful.
Yeah.
And like, I know it was trying to be like, oh, well, you know, you got to get through all these things because it's like, it's not easy. Obviously, you got to put the work in there where you put the work into your business. But I think it would have been better if they showed him having a balance. And like, that was kind of the end all be all of it all, where it's like, you can have a balance to all of this, where even when he, you know, chose to have the, I guess, the life in the alternate world before he went back, he just fully embraced that life instead of be like bringing over, like when he tried to bring over elements, they got in a fight again. And it's like, I just think he could have handled it a little bit better. I also think the ending of this movie stunk. I think this was a big stinky ending where he had to go back to his other life. And it stunk more so because you really did like, the best part of this movie is the kids, especially his daughter, who like very funny thought he was an alien. And then she just no longer exists. It was awful.
I mean, there's no way to fix that though. Like he had to go back to his life.
He didn't have to though, because like it was all magic. It could have just been like, all right, you know, Nick Cage, which life do you choose? And he could have chose that life.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But my problem with that is then technically you have like another Nicolas Cage who's a dad, and he's just like
Disappeared
gone now. And then also, I wouldn't want to miss the first like 4 years of my child's life.
No, I'm with you.
And like he spawns and he has a 4-year-old and a baby. Like that wouldn't be really enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's not like his life.
I think he should have not enjoyed his rich life more. Like
he
never seemed miserable. Like I think it would have been better if he was putting on a facade that he enjoyed it. But like when he was alone in those moments, he did seem miserable, where he seemed like he was really liking his life.
Yeah, he was having a good time.
Yes. So that's why I think it just doesn't work on like a level that it could. I don't know. I do see why Jack likes this movie. I just don't think it's for me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my end all be all. What did you end up giving this out of 100?
I'll give it a 60.
Okay, I gave it a 61. So we're basically in the same boat. Jack gave it a 78, by the way. I have all of his scores and his list for the draft.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Shoot. Oh yeah. Do you think it was very Christmassy?
No.
I didn't either. And I saw that Jack's review on White Christmas was need more Christmas. And I was thinking like there's one day of Christmas in this movie and he misses it because he goes and tries to get his life back.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. There's very little Christmas about this movie.
But, you know, that's okay.
Here, I'll read Jack's review for the folks in the podcast. And reading it after our conversation makes us seem like we're on opposite sides of the universe, but I'll read it. Okay, here we go. From Jack. What an absolute delight. A simple story that love is the ultimate satisfier. Nicolas Cage rocks. I absolutely adore this movie and everything it represents. I'm sorry. I hard disagree with everything he just wrote there. First of all, delight. No. This movie is sad and depressing. It's a big bummer. Love is not the ultimate satisfier here because he did want to have an affair with her. Like I guess not with her, but
that friend, by the way,
stinks. Bad friend.
Why?
To want to have an affair with him?
No. The guy, his friend that talks him out of it.
Oh, Jeremy Piven's character?
Dude's a chiller. He's awesome.
Yeah, Ari Gold from Entourage.
Maybe, I don't know.
He
was like an all-time good friend.
Also, I absolutely adore this movie and everything it represents. We just talked about for like 5 minutes how it represents the bad things.
Yeah,
I don't. Maybe I wish Jack movie than us.
I wish.
I know this next week. Next week we'll do a quick few minutes in the beginning, just talk about the Family Man because I gotta hear more about this from him. All right, that was the Family Man. I gave it a 61. Charles gave it a 60, and Jack gave it a 78. Moving on, White Christmas. Singers Bob Wallace, played by Bing Crosby, and Phil Davis, played by Danny Kaye, joined sisters Betty and Judy to perform a Christmas show in rural Vermont. There, they run into General Waverly, the boys' commander in World War II, who, they learn, is having financial difficulties. His quaint country inn is failing, so the foursome do plan a Yuletide miracle, a fun-filled musical extravaganza that is sure to put Waverly and his business in the black. Released in 1954. All right, this was your film that you selected, so why don't you go first with your opinion here?
I mean, talk about a good time. Am I right? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I grew up watching this movie. This was my dad's favorite. So like, this will always hold a very this will like always be a very special movie for me. I just think it's so fun and it's very sweet and there's like a lot of brotherly love in it. The music's
classic
great.
Misunderstanding.
I
love that.
The dancing's great. The humor's pretty solid too. It's just like a sweet, wholesome movie. And like some of the songs are so iconic too in my family, like the Sisters song. All my aunts will sing that together. And
I love that song.
It's the sweetest
I
thing.
love when they did it.
Yeah, Sisters. oh yeah. When
they're dressed up. That's a good one. I didn't know that Betty Haynes, actress in this, is George Clooney's aunt. I googled that after.
Oh.
Her name is Rosemary Clooney. Sorry, she is his aunt. I really like this movie. I'm so glad that you picked this one. I really liked it a lot. I never seen it before this, and like I think it's gonna be on rotation every year from now on. Like this was something that I really did enjoy a lot. I sneaky kind of agree with Jack about like the Christmassy side of it. Like there's the two big Christmas moments, right? Like there's the ending, which is all about Christmas, and then the beginning where they're singing in the infantry on Christmas. In the middle, it's less Christmassy, but I still feel like it's a Christmas movie the whole time. Like I never feel like it's not. I think Bing Crosby here is so good, but I never heard him speak. Like I have, because like he's the stop motion guy in the Christmas cartoons, but like I never like associated with Bing Crosby. But watching him speak and then sing right after is just a mind-blowing experience.
Dude, when he sings,
his voice is like so high and he's like, yeah, guys, I'm having a great time. It's like, dude, his voice is crazy.
Unbelievable.
I don't know how he does that.
Snow, it won't be long before. It's like crazy.
I do wish. My one complaint, I wish they sang White Christmas more than once.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was pumped for that. Because I love that song. And he just sings it the one time.
Wait, no, they sang it twice. They sang it at the end and at the beginning.
Yeah, but it was short in the beginning and then like kind of rushed through at the end. It was never like the whole thing.
What'd you think of the general song?
I did like the general.
Dude, the general song?
The general song was fine. Like when they're like cheering, like they're like, we'll follow him to the end.
Because we love him.
Yeah, I like that song. I think that's probably like lower on my list for this movie though.
Okay, that's fair.
I like Sisters more, and I like White Christmas more. But like General's song is quite good. I started to get welled up a little bit when they were all there for him, and like he walks in and they're clapping. Oh, dude, it's so good, so good.
Yeah, I got a little teary-eyed.
I will say my review was quite simple. Why don't movies look like this anymore? This movie is beautiful to look at. Like the costuming, the sets. Like it looks great. It's well lit. It's well shot. Everything's just in frame really nice. Oh, loved it. Also, big ripoff for La La Land from this movie. When it's Phil Davis and Vera Allen, Judy. So it's those two. They do the dance outside while they're in Florida. That is basically just the La La Land dance that they ripped off again later on in La La Land. So I really did like that because, as we all know, La La Land, second favorite movie now. Breaking news. Avery is currently at the airport, and she said that some lady is getting kicked off the plane. Whoa.
Sheesh.
That's crazy. Holidays, man, gets people all in a weird mood. But yeah, I really enjoyed White Christmas. I'm very, very glad that I watched this, and
Good.
I also did not know that this was directed by the same guy who directed Casablanca. So
Oh,
yeah, he did Casablanca, Robin Hood, Angels Dirty Faces, which I also thought was the movie in Home Alone, but it's not. But yeah, big fan. I do have it written down. Jack gave this a 78. He gave this and The Family Man the same thing.
he gave this He gave this a 78, but he gave it 3 stars.
Yes.
Weird.
No, he gave us 3.5. He gave us 3.5. I'll read his review. Vibrant colors, singing, dancing. What more could you want? Maybe just a little bit of, maybe just a little bit more Christmas for a movie with Christmas in the title. All jokes aside, this is a good time. This could totally grow on me with a few more viewings for me. Danny Kaye is a standout. He's hilarious. I love the chemistry between him and Bing Crosby. Also, the dancing was overall very, very good. Overall, I enjoyed White Christmas. That was his 3.5-star review. Overall, he gave it a 78 out of 100. I gave this an 84 out of 100. I really enjoyed it. I do think with repeat viewing, it's gonna bump into those 90s. I'm pretty convinced as it goes along.
I think I'll match your 84.
Really? I thought you'd go higher. No, hey, 84. 84 is a great score.
84, yeah. I mean, it was also my number 4 on the Christmas titles.
Yeah, no. All right, last but certainly not least, A Muppet Christmas Carol. This was my pick for the list. I think, listen, like you just said, this movie, these movies hold a special place in your heart. And like you're skewed on your opinion of them because they're the ones that you grew up with, the ones you like. Quick rereading of the synopsis: a retelling of the classic Dickens tale of Ebenezer Scrooge. He is held responsible for his dastardly ways during a night of visitations by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. I gave this movie a 93 out of 100. I give it 5 stars in Letterboxd. I know it doesn't deserve that. Listen, I know it doesn't. However, I think this is an incredible film that has so much love in it. The music is awesome. And I think sneaky the best part of this movie is Michael Caine taking it seriously. He never acts like he's in a Muppet movie. He acts like he's acting with actors. And I think that amplifies the whole thing. I think Gonzo as he's actually being Charles Dickens, such a good touch. And Tiny Tim gets me every time. I'm not gonna lie. God bless us, everyone. So I really enjoy this movie. I think it is. I really do love it. I watch it every single year. It's my favorite Christmas movie. I think, even though I put some stuff higher on it than the list, I think this is my favorite.
I've got some breaking news.
Oh no!
Josh Allen just put up the greatest quarterback fantasy performance of all time.
Good thing I wasn't playing against him.
I am playing against him.
No.
in the league that it matters the most.
Is it our league or no?
No, I'm already. I lost that league.
Okay.
I need to win this game to make the playoffs.
Ooh, that's tough.
And I'm projected 154 points. They're projected 146. So
that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. Anyway, back to movies.
Back to the movies. Yes. So Muppet Christmas Carol. I know you didn't have a chance to see it. I really do hope
I will see it
before next week. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it because I know it does sound like hyperbole. I know, like, I'm the Muppets guy. I like the Muppets. I feel like I exaggerate a little bit when I talk about like the level in which I just love the Muppets. However, even Avery, who watched it with me, who doesn't like the Muppets all that much, really did enjoy it. Jack gave it 4 stars, which is his highest of all 3 movies of the night, even his own. His review is The Muppets did not disappoint. This is a fun and fresh version of the Scrooge story. Cannot believe I hadn't seen this earlier. Needed a tad bit more of animal, which I actually agree with. But I absolutely loved Muppet Christmas Carol. He gave this the highest of all of his movies on our list today, even his own. He gave us an 84 out of 100. I give us a 93. Chuck, I will wait to post the review until you see it. Hopefully you can see it in the first half of the week because I'm planning on posting these probably Wednesday, Thursday. I love this movie. I think it is. Oh man, I just think it's so special. It's truly incredible. I think it might be the best Muppet thing there is. I have a list on Letterboxd, my Muppet rankings. Let's see. Yeah, I have it at number 1 on the Muppet list. Just ahead of the Muppets and then the Muppet movie. So yeah. All right. Let's get into our draft, shall we? Unless you have anything else.
Nope.
All right. Our draft is very simple. It is our most anticipated movies of 2025. Pretty much that's it. We're going to go 10 through 6 quickly. We'll kind of speed through those, and then we'll jump into our top 5. I think the best way to do this is to do a countdown. I have Jack's list in front of me. We'll start with him just because he's not here. Any of these we want to stop, talk about, I'm happy to stop and talk about. But yeah, we'll start with 10 through 6. So starting with that. So this is Jack's list. At number 10, he has The Bride. That is the Christian Bale, Maggie Gyllenhaal movie about Frankenstein's wife. At 9, he has Tron Ares. At 8, he has Mickey 17. At 7, he has Superman. And at 6, he has Fantastic Four. So that is his 10 through 6. Charles, would you like to go next with your 10 through 6?
Sure. My 10 is The Smashing Machine.
Oh,
my 9
nice.
is The Accountant 2.
Nice.
My 8 is How to Train Your Dragon. 7 is Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Yep.
And my 6 is F1.
All right. My 10 through 6 is Mickey 17, The Phoenician Scheme, which is the new Wes Anderson movie, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, and Wicked Part 2. Rounds out my 10 through 6. All right. I think this is going to be very interesting in this top 10 because so far, besides Jack's, who I already know, Jack and I only have 2 of the same in the top 5. I think you're going to have 2 of the same with me as well. And I think you're going to have 3 of the same with Jack. No, I think you're going to have 2 of the same with Jack. Based on what I have right now. So why don't let's
Hunter,
go
one
at a time.
very similar lists.
We might.
I know of 3 of yours, and I have those 3 on mine.
How do you know 3 of mine?
Because I know you.
Yeah, I think the top 2 are pretty obvious for me.
Yeah.
I would say the bottom ones are not.
Okay.
We'll see. All right, number 5. Let's do Jack, myself, then you, and then we'll snake it back.
Okay.
Does that work?
Sure.
All right. Number 5 for Jack. He has Knives Out 3 coming to Netflix later this year, or I guess later next year. I kind of forgot about Knives Out 3. I'm actually pretty pumped for this as well. I think this is going to be quite good. I really did like Glass Onion. So, pretty interested in this. Did you ever watch Glass Onion?
Love Glass Onion.
Okay. Do you like Glass Onion more than the first one? Is that one? I feel like that was your take you had at one point. Because I don't. I think Knives Out 1 is better by like a decent margin.
More. I wouldn't say it's a decent margin, but I probably like it a little bit more.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's Wake Up Dead Men. I kind of forgot this cast is great.
You might hear that pretty soon again.
Oh, really? All right. 5 for me. I have Fantastic Four. Very excited for this movie. I think so of the 3 movies releasing in 2025 for Marvel, I think this is the make or break. I think this is the one that if they get wrong is the biggest issue. I think Captain America could be like a 7 out of 10 and be fine. I think Thunderbolts could be 7 out of 10 and be fine. I think Thunderbolts actually might be the best of the bunch. If they mess up Fantastic Four, yikes.
Yeah.
Big yikes. So I think that has a lot of weight to it. But yes. That is my 5.
My 5 is Superman.
All right.
And I'm gonna say my 4 too, and then explain. My 4 is Fantastic Four. These like are kind of interchangeable. Actually, no, they're not, because I would say I'm more of an MCU guy, which is why Fantastic Four is ahead. I echo everything you said about Fantastic Four. I think this might be weird, but I think the posters getting me the most excited.
Like the 50s style poster?
I think the posters.
I do love them sitting around in that. That's what I'm using for the graphic right now.
So yeah, and then Superman. I just think it's exciting that the DCU is getting kicked off, and Superman. I don't think I've ever seen a Superman movie, and so I don't think so.
You ever seen Man of Steel?
Oh no, I've seen. We watched that. Yeah.
Did you ever see Superman 1978?
No.
I would, if you find time this week. That's one I would definitely want. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay.
I think you might love that movie. That feels like a very big Charles movie.
Okay.
I have that feeling. All right. My number 4 is The Running Man. Glenn Powell, Josh Brolin, Katie O'Brien, directed by Edgar Wright. Now look, I have a Glenn Powell bias. He's up there with Muppets for me and Tom Cruise. But having said that, I really enjoy the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger version of this movie. And I'm very interested to see Edgar Wright's version of it, because I really like Edgar Wright, and I feel like he doesn't do a lot of stuff like this, where it's like not really his thing. And so to do a remake, it feels like he's got a good grasp of what it's going to be. So I'm actually very pumped for this movie. So yeah, it comes out in November. So I got like a year to wait, but I'm pretty excited for this. Also, Michael Cera's in this movie in some version of a role, which, like, come on.
That's exciting.
Yeah, come on. So yeah, The Running Man is my number 4. Jack's number 4 is F1. I agree with Jack. I think this is going to be very exciting. I had it at number 8 on my list.
I think I had it at 6.
So like, I think this is going to be a really good movie. I think I'm very worried it's going to be basically Top Gun Maverick again, but Top Gun Maverick was great. So if it is, I'll take it. All right. And then his number 3 is Avatar 3. And so is mine. So we'll go back to back there for the two of us. Right. Avatar 3. If you asked me a few years ago, I would not have Avatar anywhere near on my list. But Avatar Way of Water really got me. It really got to me. I really enjoyed it. Yes, it got me excited. Now, will this movie release in 2025? Who knows? Might get pushed back to like 2055, but I'll be sat. I'm seated for Avatar 3. I'm ready for it. I'm excited for the fire people, the air people, whatever it's going to be. I'm in. All right, you're number 3. What you got?
Before I say my number 3 and my number 2, I would just like to say new stat came out about Purdue football. If they had started every game with a 34-point lead, they would be 6-6.
Oh, no. That's so sad. The Boilermakers. What happened?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Wake Up a Dead Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought we'd have a little bit more different things on our list, but we're kind of in the same vein, everybody.
Yeah, I love Glass Onion and Knives Out, and I'm very fired up for this movie. Don't know anything about it. Do we even know the plot? I mean, the plot is a murder mystery, but
all I know is that Josh O'Connor is playing a priest of some kind, and that's about it.
I'm in. And then my number 2 is...
Can I guess? I was gonna guess it. I was gonna guess it because that's also Jack and my number 2. All 3 of us have Mission Impossible 8 at number 2 on the year.
Oh, and Jack's number 1 is Wicked, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, jeez. Jack and I have the exact same list.
No, you don't. He doesn't have Superman until his 10. He doesn't have Fantastic Four at all. But then you don't, and your Avatar. So it's showing the top 2 that are matching.
Okay.
But yeah, Mission Impossible 8 is all 3 of our number 2. I am so excited for Mission Impossible 8. I cannot wait for this movie. If it's the end of Ethan Hunt, look it. I get it. But oh man, what a journey it's been. Maybe the greatest Is it crazy to say this is the greatest franchise of all time? Like quality wise, I'd say it's better than Star Wars. It's better than Harry Potter. It's better than okay, here we go. Lord of the Rings is hard because if you count The Hobbit, it is better than Lord of the Rings. I think it might be the greatest quality-wise franchise ever. Come on, I want you to agree with me on this one. I really want you to agree with me.
I would have to do some deep analysis to figure out.
Okay. But I think if that's a take that I have, I don't think it's a crazy take. Saying it is not crazy.
Hearing it was a little crazy. Thinking about it, not as crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jack's number 1 is Wicked Part 2, which I think we'll save our discussion for until you speak about it. What? My number 1 is Superman. I'm a huge Superman guy. It's no secret for me. Superman and Spider-Man are like 1A, 1B. I think that this has the potential to be. I'm not trying to be like a hyperbole or anything. I do think this has the potential to be the greatest comic movie of all time. I do. I think the pieces are in place. It feels like James Gunn is extremely confident in what they got. We're getting a trailer sometime this month, apparently. I have the feeling that this could be something so special.
I think the Batman,
and I really hope it is. Listen, if Superman is on scale and on par with the Batman, that would just be like I can't even articulate the feeling I would have. Like it's just everything to me. Superman. I love Superman. If this is done in the same way like the Batman was handled, my God, I will be very annoying to be around, but I will be so happy. I can't wait for that podcast. It's gonna be great. Actually, I think based on the calendar, it's right around when we go to Comic-Con, or it's right before Comic-Con. It's like one in that area. So see how Superman heads at Comic-Con, chatting about it. All right, ready for your number 1, Wicked? It's got to be right.
It's actually Frankenstein. No, yeah, it's Wicked.
How to Train Your Dragon again.
No, I am so fired up for Wicked. Like,
yeah,
the different. I
don't blame you.
I don't know what else to say because I already talked about Wicked last week and the week before. I just loved it so much.
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
I don't know.
It's been in my head quite a bit.
When you watch a movie and you give it 5 stars, and then you like think about the sequel, it just like you get so excited, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I'm very excited for Wicked. I am a bit worried about Wicked, just to tell you the truth. Like, the only thing that worries me is they said they're to add some original songs in Wicked Part 2, and I think that those have a big bar to cross just to be like up there with the quality. But I'm very, very pumped for Wicked. Yeah, it is my number 6. Do you want to talk a little bit more about maybe some of these honorable mentions that we mentioned? Mickey 17 was on both Jack and my lists. That comes out early next year. Bong Joon-ho and Robert Pattinson. Only Jack had Tron Ares, which I'm excited for. I just don't think I'm really anticipating it as much as he is, obviously. But like,
yeah,
I'm pretty excited to see kind of where that goes. He was the only. Oh yeah, I had the Wes Anderson movie, and I was the only person with Jurassic World, which is a little surprising. I think that actually moved up my list because of Wicked, because the main guy in Wicked is in Jurassic World. The guy who's the Scarecrow.
Oh,
he's the lead. Jonathan Bailey. He's the lead in Jurassic World with Scarlett Johansson. So yeah. All right, to do a quick recap of our lists. Hopefully they're a little bit better than last year's, which that's bad. Jack's list: Wicked Part 2, Mission Impossible 8, Avatar 3, F1, Knives Out 3. My list is Superman, Mission Impossible 8, Avatar 3, The Running Man, and Fantastic Four. Charles's list is Wicked Part 2, Mission Impossible 8, Knives Out 3, Fantastic Four, and Superman. I think those are pretty good lists. I'm not going to lie. Oh, I forgot to mention. I was going to add on my list, but I will say it is up there. The
Minecraft movie?
Well, see, I actually am anticipating that. I'm not going to lie. I actually am very excited for that movie. just because I want to see it. But no, I was gonna say Den of Thieves 2.
Oh,
I'm pretty pumped for. There's actually, I'm very excited for some movies next year. Like I was looking at the list, like I put in our little graphic, the Sinners poster, because I thought that looked like it was a great poster. When none of us had Captain America 4, none of us had Thunderbolts. Let's see. Should I look up some more movies for next year while we wrap up the pod? I looked up 2026 Oscar predictions, and some of them are very funny. So there's the untitled Paul Thomas Anderson film, which has Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and Benicio del Toro, which that sounds pretty awesome, actually, now that I just read that. Dang, maybe I should put that on my list.
I just know there's going to be
there's going to be something in here that we just didn't have.
There's going to be like a wild robot that comes out next year or something like that.
Yeah.
No one saw coming.
Well, your number one movie of the year, you didn't even have on your list last year. So, like, that's part of it. High and Low, directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington and Jeffrey Wright. That sounds incredible. Like, there's just some cool stuff coming out next year, and I'm pretty pumped for. I feel like we've kind of gone past the COVID years. We're like back on to some good stuff. So, because I was looking at the movie releases, and there's some big ones. Yeah, none of us had Wolfman. No one had Lilo and Stitch. No one had Karate Kid Legends or Snow White. There's 28 Years Later, The Bad Guys 2, Mortal Kombat 2, Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, Freaky Friday 2.
Freakier Friday, Hunter.
So true. Ballerina, Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson biopic. I actually thought about the Michael Jackson biopic as well. Dog Man, The Electric State, which we talked about. You had The Smashing Machine. Now You See Me 3.
I was surprised I was the only one with The Smashing Machine.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to see a little bit more before I get excited for that. The Accountant 2. You had The Accountant 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Megan 2, The Black Phone 2, the Smurfs movie, Saw 11. There's a Greenland 2? No way there's a Greenland 2. Is this real? Oh my god, they are making a sequel to Greenland. People actually watched the first one? That's crazy. What did that make at the box office? But yeah, that's our lists. I feel pretty good about it. Wow, Greenland really has a sequel? That's shocking. I can't believe that. That Gerard Butler just gets people in seats. It's incredible. I don't get how this happens. But also, look, I say, how does this happen? I'm actually pumped for Den of Thieves 2. And you're actually pumped for How to Train Your Dragon. So, like, he does it. He still does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Did you ever see Plane? Plane was great. Man, Plane was so good. We should watch it. Plane, 3.5-star banger. Add it to your list.
Huge.
We're gonna have to do that. At the beginning of next year, we'll do our 3.5-star banger list. Avery referenced that today. We were watching something, and she's like, "It's a 3.5-star banger," and I was like, "Kind of is." So,
to be a 3.5-star banger, everyone has to give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, no one can ever give it more.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's all you got. Next week, it's Kraven the Hunter, baby, and it's Lord of the Rings. Pretty pumped for that. Actually, I'm actually pretty excited for Kraven. I think Kraven might be a sneaky surprise.
What are the rings?
Can I tell you the truth? I'm not as excited for Lord of the Rings.
All right, whatever.
Hang on, let me see if Rotten Tomatoes has either of those out yet to see if our reviews are out. Okay, neither of them are out yet. Let's see if I can Google it. The Lord of the Rings, War for Rohirrim review. All right. There's no real reviews out yet. I'm not seeing anything quite yet.
So far on Rotten Tomatoes, there are 3 scores. It has a 66%.
For Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
It has a 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oof.
Maybe Kraven the Hunter. Maybe Kraven the Hunter is sneaky the best one. We'll see. All right, that's it. You got anything else?
Nope.
Next week we'll have Jack, and we'll ask about The Family Man because I cannot believe his score on that. But we'll see.
Right.
That's insane. Well, I love the messaging. Crazy take. All right. All right. Peace out. We will see you next week. Kraven the Hunter. And actually, Creature Commando season episode 3 and a little bit more. But peace out.
Peace.